Good Monday evening, everyone. Welcome to Weather Worries. Hello to everyone watching on my Facebook page, Todd Warren Weather, and hello to everyone watching on your TV within the KTAL Now app. As you can see today and right now, we did see lots of clouds across the area. We're still pretty much cloudy with not much as far as rain. I'll show you the radar here in a second, as rain was rather limited to the northern sections of the area this morning and remained somewhat scattered over the southeastern sections of the ArkLaTex this afternoon. And it has pretty much ended for most of us for tonight. I'll show you the radar again, and otherwise, coming up tonight, this is what's on the docket. We're looking at some thunderstorms tomorrow evening for parts of the area, and just looking at some of the newest model information, I'm getting a little bit more concerned about tomorrow evening as opposed to Wednesday. We'll see more widespread activity Wednesday, but in terms of the strength of the storm, especially the tornado threat, it could be higher tomorrow evening. I'll show you that coming up. In terms of the details on the possible worries, we'll show you the potential rotation with Futurecast, what it's showing as far as potential hail, and of course with potential wind gusts that we could see. That's what's all coming up. And once we get past Wednesday night, it looks like an extended period of dry weather will begin here across the ArkLaTex on Thursday. It is quite possible that we could go 10 days without any additional rainfall. I'll take you out 2 weeks with the some of the models here, show you how much rain is on the way. Of course, that's in grain of salt time. And we are looking at a couple shots of cold, which will try to come down. The first of which will be as this upper level low causing our coming storms moves over us on Thursday and Thursday night. And then another pretty good surge of cold air moves into the eastern half of the country as we move into the beginning of next week. And it's going to get kind of chilly, colder than we've seen here in grain of salt time temperatures in a while. If you have a question or a comment watching on Facebook, feel free to ask away. If you just want to say hello, Todd, that is great too, as it is tradition to begin the festivities with our hellos. So let's do that. First on board tonight is, as usual, Brian. Hello there, Brian. Betty, hello there up there in Union County. Bonnie, hello to you. Rusty, good evening. Let's see. Lewis, good evening to you. Donnell, thanks for watching. Hopefully you're having a nice evening. Christian, I got a little bit, Christian, a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. So, needless to say, my best night of sleeping was last night because I slept a little bit too long, a couple hours when I got home, so I was not ready to go to bed Saturday night. Betty, that's probably true, and you'll see the details here in a second. Chris, hello to you. Probably watching in Ohio, I would imagine. So hopefully it's not too cold up there in the Buckeye State. All right, let's get going and show you what we have on the docket for tonight, as we are looking at, again, my level of concern. We'll keep it at 4, both for tomorrow and for Wednesday, as we will see the possibility of all severe weather threats. The Storm Prediction Center has us in a slight risk for tomorrow. I would not be shocked at all. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen, to see an enhanced somewhere in our area tomorrow before it's all said and done. And again, tomorrow is going to be more confined in terms of how much of the ArkLaTex is affected, and Wednesday it'll be more widespread, and then we'll get into the details here in a second. Meantime, let's look at high temperatures for today. You can see we did make it to 79 degrees in Shreveport. 81 degrees was the high temperature in Texarkana. 78 degrees the high temperature in Marshall. So temperatures again today well above the normals, good 10 degrees plus above normal across the area this afternoon. As far as rain right now, let's put this in motion here with pinpoint Doppler, and you can see the scattered showers which have pretty much dissipated or just to the east of Shreveport. So we are probably pretty much done with the rainfall across the area tonight. All right, before we get into the pattern here, let's see. Stephen. Friday night was a bit on the active side. Fortunately, Saturday, we had that slight risk. We didn't have one warning issued for our area, which I'm not complaining about, as that cold front kind of wiped things out pretty well once it moved through the area. Julie, hello. Kaylee. Tomorrow, Kaylee, you'll see what I'm talking about. I think probably north of Shreveport tomorrow evening, and then our time probably will be Thursday. Now, that being said, uh, and I'll discuss this, there is a trend in the models more south for tomorrow evening, and I'll kind of illustrate that when I get to that point. All right, let's talk about this weather pattern here as we have the upper level low, which is situated over Baja right now. It is going to move towards us and give us the shot for the thunderstorms again tomorrow evening and Wednesday. Once it moves over, it's going to cool down very briefly on Wednesday night and Thursday, and then we will see another warm up heading into the weekend. As temperatures this weekend could be in the mid 80s, as you'll see in grain of salt time here tonight. All right, let's take you through the next 4 days here on a national scale. And you can see we're going to be watching the low over Mexico march its way towards the east. You can see all the thunderstorms breaking out over West Texas, and some of that activity will try to move in here Tuesday night. But again, we have the first cluster northwest part of the area Tuesday evening. Take a break Tuesday night, and then we have more storms on the way for Wednesday and Wednesday night. And once that low moves by, now the track of that surface low is good news for us. If we stay to the south of that, then that would greatly reduce the threat of tornadoes here. If it tracks further north, say across southeast Oklahoma into central Arkansas, then we would have a bigger issue. It does look like, that being said, given this possible outcome, that the risk for tornadoes will be higher tomorrow evening than they will be on Wednesday. And you'll see that illustrated with Futurecast, again, when I get to that point. And you can see that low kind of matures over the northern Gulf, while we'll see the sunshine return to the area Thursday. And notice we're going to stay sunny as we move through Friday, this weekend. There is going to be another surge of colder air coming down early next week, but as of right now, it doesn't appear as if it's going to squeeze out anything as far as rain. That's probably going to be the case for basically the case for the rest of next week. So if we don't get the projected rain for on tomorrow and Wednesday, which I think is unlikely, then the drought is going to continue to intensify. What this rain will do, not really give us much relief, but it'll pause things. And the longer, as long as we get that rain, at least one good rain a week, that will help. All right, let's get to the severe weather aspect of things. Here's the latest outlook from the Storm Prediction Center for tomorrow. You can see the slight risk here over the northwestern third of the area. Really nothing in Shreveport, and then absolutely nothing further to the south. So if you live in Center, Mansfield, Natchitoches, in this gray area, as of right now, it doesn't look like you have too many worries for tomorrow evening. That will change for all of us for the most part on Wednesday as that area of low pressure moves by. Depending on where it goes, we are going to be looking at quite a bit in terms of showers and thunderstorms. I'm kind of hoping it does track towards south. That would, again, at the very least, help reduce the risk of the spin-ups. All right, let's see who else has chimed in here. Let's see here. Chris, still in Ohio, 59. That didn't sound too bad, Chris. That doesn't sound too bad. Eric says 75 right now in Colbert, Oklahoma. You can see my Tempest weather station currently showing 76.3. Aaron, hello there in WCOK. Nita, good evening to you. Yeah, it developed to your east, Aaron, and north, I should say, and then moved into the extreme northern sections of the area. Look who else just joined in from WCOK. Hello there, Brad. All right, let's get to the details on timing. And you can see tonight pretty much dry under a cloudy sky. Tomorrow's going to be a breezy day. Notice not really a whole lot as far as rain during the day tomorrow. Small chance late in the afternoon. Now watch this area here off to the west of us. This is what's going to track to the northeast and give us that threat for some spin-ups as it moves near and slightly north of Interstate 30. I'm going to pause this here. Futurecast had this up here with the previous run. The HRRR also had the swath of rotation up here. Now it has it down here. All right, so they are trending a little bit to the south, but still within that slight risk area that SPC has out. So again, looks like the timing will be first half of the evening for Northeast Texas, last half of the evening, at least the middle of the evening for those of you in Southwest Arkansas, near and north of Interstate 30. Take a bit of a pause tomorrow night. Really doubt we'll see much more as far as severe weather. And then Wednesday, you can see the increase in the scattered showers and thunderstorms over the northern sections of the area. You can see the front. Notice the wind shift right in here, right? So we have our front, and I'm trying to find the spin, but I don't see it here. We'll see that low move by, probably right down in there. So as that front continues to dive south, it'll get cooler. We'll continue with the rain, but the main focus for the severe weather probably will be to the south of us as we go farther and farther into Wednesday night. So again, it looks like the morning in the north on Wednesday, further to the south will be the afternoon as far as the stronger thunderstorms. And late afternoon, early evening might be late enough to where, again, the bulk of the severe weather on Wednesday will be, at the very least, south of I-20 and probably closer to Toledo Bend if things go according to plan and that low tracks towards south. And you can see the decrease in the clouds here as we go through Thursday, and then we will see the clear sky across the area Thursday night and lots of sunshine across the area on Friday, with temperatures Thursday staying in the 60s. We'll start to warm back up quickly on Friday, back into the 70s. All right, here's the details on rotation potential, and this shows all the swaths for the entire period. This will take us through, I believe I stopped at it went Thursday evening. Okay, so you're going to see one swath right here, right along Interstate 30. Now keep in mind, don't get zeroed in on the exact location. It could be down here, it could be in McCurtain County. So somewhere across the northwestern, say, third of the area, we will see the potential for some tornadoes. And notice Futurecast has two swaths. So, and notice that we have some orange on this too, which is stronger than what we had when we did have the two touchdowns Friday night, late Friday night into early Saturday morning. And you can see heading into Wednesday, notice that we don't have a whole lot more of those big long tracks like we are expected to see tomorrow night. And you can see that this would all be Tuesday here. And notice not much more here with the upper level low approaching. So on the tornado aspect of things, that risk could be highest just based on this late Tuesday afternoon through Tuesday evening. All right, so that's what it looks like as far as the timing and where we might see the best shot of seeing some tornadoes. I did look at since we're in daylight saving time, everything comes in an hour later, which I hate, because usually the ARkLaTex would be done right now. Let me take a quick look at that. That should be finishing up. And I can take a quick peek at that really quickly and see what it's showing for Wednesday. As it goes out to, it is still rendering, it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and, it's just about done now. And I got to call up that one graphic. Everything's buried in here, so bear with me as I do the clicking. All right, so there's, yeah, it's right at 3 states as far as where it takes you through tomorrow evening. And it doesn't show much more as far as rotation for Thursday. So the ARkLaTex is on board too with what, very close actually to what Futurecast is showing here. And again, that model information is still coming in as far as that particular run. All right, let's switch to peak winds, and you can see the wind gusts here with the tomorrow evening storms, the reds and oranges, that's 30 to over 50, or at least almost 50. So we could have noticed the browns here, that's 50 to 60. So we could very well see a handful of gusts that exceed 60 miles per hour with those storms tomorrow evening. Let's show you what happens on Wednesday, and you can see the gusts here over deep East Texas and Northwest Louisiana, south of Interstate 20. And notice the brighter gust here south of Mansfield. That's over 60 miles per hour. So in terms of the tornado risk, maybe higher Tuesday. The wind risk will be much more widespread Wednesday, especially Wednesday afternoon as that low moves towards south. So we could see some rather gusty winds. Quick look at hail here. I really haven't seen a whole lot of color with this, but notice Futurecast does have some dark blacks in here. So we could have a few quarter-sized hailstones with the strong storms tomorrow evening. Take you through Wednesday, and nothing quite as intense. So the hail risk may be a little bit lower on Wednesday for our area. Okay, so looks like just based on all that, in terms of hail and tornadoes, hold on to your hat for tomorrow evening. The wind could be more widespread of an issue further to the south on Wednesday. All right, let's see if we have any other questions here. So you're in Anacoco there. Okay, I kind of know where that is, Chris. That a lot of wind down there Wednesday. Ashley, it is. And when I don't know what you mean by upgrade, could the chance go up? Sure. Could it go down? Sure. I'm just telling you the latest of, and again, watch out for tomorrow evening. That's probably maybe as soon as very late tomorrow afternoon, but probably near or a little after dinner time is when things will get kind of active for you. It's early evening, I would say, more than likely. All right, let's take you out farther. Grain of salt time. Call it grain of salt time because the farther you get past 7 days, you got to take it with a grain of salt because chances are it's going to change. So let's take a look at the upper level low, how it moves right over us. You can see the storms Wednesday afternoon. Notice how it tracks towards south. That's good for us. Then after that, here comes the trough, which is going to bring in the cold during the early part of next week. That will lift out, and then upper level ridging is going to take hold, and we're going to warm up. So you're going to see some ups and downs when we get into temperatures here a little bit later on. And also notice that we really don't have any more disturbances which will produce much as far as rain. So if all of us need some rain, so keep your fingers crossed that A, we avoid the severe weather, and B, get the rainfall that is projected. And here's what's projected. A 7-day outlook, and you're going to see the similarities here between this, the 10-day from the model blend, and the 14-day from the various models. The numbers are not that much different. And that means that all the rain is going to happen in the first week. So you can see 1.5 to 2.5 inches from WPC with the amounts of 2.5 to 3 over the northern, this darker area of yellow here. Say Nashville to DeQueen, McCurtain County, WCOK, Clarksville, 2.5 to 3 looks promising. Closer to 1.5 inches as you work your way down towards Natchitoches. Here's what the model blend shows. Notice very similar, 1.5 to 1 inch southeast, 2 to upwards of 3 over the northwest. So I think the reason why these numbers are higher are because of tomorrow evening's storms. We're not going to get that rain in East Texas and Northwest Louisiana, hence the lower totals. So that tells you that the amounts on Wednesday should be pretty similar area-wide. All right, let's take a look. 2 weeks, 14 days out. And notice how these numbers are not that much different from what I just showed you. So this tells you that we're going to get all our rain here in the next couple of days, and then that's it. Mother Nature's going to shut up the spigot again. That's what's been happening with this drought. We get a really good rain, and then we settle back into dry for 2 to 3 weeks. But we don't get enough rain to make up for that deficit that we build up in that 2 to 3 weeks when we do get the good rain. So that's why we've been slowly getting into drought conditions. Let's see. Carol, just be aware of the possibility tomorrow evening. It may be to your north, but you're pretty close. And models have been trending southward, so keep an eye on things tomorrow evening. And then Wednesday, probably more wind concerns than tornado concerns, the way it looks right now anyway. If that upper level low tracks further to the north, as well as the low at the surface, then we will see another pretty good shot for a tornado or two on Wednesday. You're going to see the answer to that here in a second, Donnell. For some people, yes, that is going to be possible. And I'm in the same, Betty says only 1/2 inch on Saturday. None since. I'm in the same boat, Betty. I was somewhat disappointed, but I was glad to get the 1/2 inch. You're quite welcome, Chris, and you do the same. All right, let's move on to temperatures here as it is getting late. You can see the ups and downs as the upper level low moves by. 60s for highs. Again, these are Shreveport numbers. We go back up into the low 80s this weekend. 59 for the high. Yes, that's true, Donnell, on Monday. 41 for the low temperature Tuesday morning. Wait till you see the GFS numbers. And then back up close to 80 as we close out that 2-week period. Again, this ends on March 23rd. And then looking at the GFS ensemble, 66 Thursday, upper 70s, low 80s this weekend. I actually have 84, I think, for Sunday. Low 60s Monday, Tuesday, but notice the 36 Monday night, which is a bit below normal, but we should warm back up into the middle 80s by the time we get to the end of the 2-week period. So some ups and downs here, but mostly up with, you can see the red line, the normal high, the blue line is the normal low. We're going to bring the rain, Amanda and Brad. Hopefully keep the severe weather away. Anthony, if you're just tuning in, watch tomorrow evening. Texarkana's in the zone where, again, the tornado risk could be a little bit higher tomorrow evening. Not so much for Wednesday. It's looking better now for us for Wednesday in terms of the tornado threat. Now, again, that could change. Let's get to the forecast here and show you what's on the way. As tonight, we're looking at a mostly cloudy sky. The rain that we've had in spots today has already ended. Temperatures, again, will fall into the mid to upper 60s, 68 in Texarkana, 64 in the Queen, 66 degrees in DeKalb. Tomorrow, or further to the south, lows tonight will be in the mid to upper 60s, 68 in Shreveport, 66 in Marshall, and 67 degrees in Carthage. Tomorrow, looking at a mostly cloudy sky, we will see some evening thunderstorms over the northwestern half of the area, especially somewhere around I-30 is that zone. Earlier runs had it up in McCurtain County. Now it looks like closer to I-30. So again, watch tomorrow evening. Again, that's when the tornado risk for this part of the ArkLaTex will be at its highest. Ahead of that, 79 for the high temperature in Texarkana, 80 in Atlanta, and 77 in Idabel. Further to the south, again, tomorrow looking pretty much dry, I think, as we'll see 82 in Shreveport, 81 in Marshall, 82 degrees for the high temperature in Natchitoches. And here is my 10-day forecast, and I think I double-clicked, and it shows, apparently I didn't, good. We are looking at a high temperature tomorrow at 82. Notice the thunderstorm chances Wednesday. All of us are going to get some rain, and then we cool off temporarily Thursday, back to the 80s this weekend, and then cooling off low 40s for Shreveport Tuesday morning. Many of you will dip into the 30s, but I think we stay above freezing, and then a quick warm-up as we head towards the end of next week. So that will officially do it for me tonight, as always. I do appreciate everyone tuning in. I know the stream was working, but apparently some other show was put into the KTAL Now app for this slot. So I am recording this. It'll be available there in about 5 or 10 minutes as soon as I'm done. But nonetheless, that will do it for me tonight. But I know many of you, probably not all, maybe not even half, but many of you look forward to my attempt at a little bit of humor at this when we close things out. And I do have one which is a little bit long, so I have to read it to you. All right, here it is. The boss was complaining at the company staff meeting the other day that he wasn't getting any respect. The next day, he brought a small sign that read, "I'm the boss," and he taped it to the door of his office. Later that day, when he returned from lunch, he found that someone had taped another note to the sign. It said, "Your wife called. She wants her sign back." And that will officially do it for me tonight, folks. Thanks for tuning in. As I've said before, I do really appreciate it. And I'll be back tomorrow night with another live update, assuming we don't have any tornado warnings that force me to go on the air. So hopefully you'll see me here tomorrow night. And if not, I'll be here Wednesday, as I doubt we'll have any tornadic issues Wednesday evening. So be sure to stay alert and stay safe tomorrow, as well as on Wednesday. So until tomorrow or Wednesday, have a great Tuesday and Wednesday, and we'll talk to you then.